What's up, guys? I'm Chris Eaton, and welcome to episode 92 of Snakes and the Fatman. We're trying to do everything on the iPad these days, so let's see how that works. Alright, as I shared last time, not to toot my own horn, but I came up with this really cool idea for Morph Market. I told John, breeders are constantly posting updates about their breeding projects on social media. Why can't they share this stuff on Morph Market, the biggest reptile platform in the world? And John and his team went and built Morph Market projects. This adds a whole new dimension to the site. Users can now browse, search, and get alerts on breeding activity. Users can discover animals before they are even for sale. As a breeder, this will help you market your brand in new ways and engage and grow your following. It'll generate more excitement around the genetic projects you are working with. And it'll reach potential buyers earlier so that your established animals sell quicker. To add some projects into the system, use the Offspring Manager. This was launched last year, but the team has been making improvements to make it easier to use. The genetic calculator has also been improved to understand how to handle allelic visual recessives like Candy and Albino. Morph Market Projects creates a whole new way for you to explore the community's activities, reach potential buyers, and show off your amazing animals. By the time this airs, projects should have already launched, or I'm going to have words with the old boss man over at Morph Market. There are already 1,500 clutches and litters shared. Head on over to Morph Market and check it out, only at morphmarket.com. Alright, head on over to herpshow.net. That's what we're going to do now. And let's check out where they're going to be in the next few months. They're going to be in Corpus Christi, Texas on February 25th and 26th. They're going to be in Baton Rouge, Louisiana on March 4th and 5th. They're going to be in Bryan, College Station, Texas on March 11th and 12th. They're going to be in Waco. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. On March 25th and 26th, they're going to be back in Slidell, Louisiana on April 1st and 2nd. They're going to be in Austin, Texas on April 22nd and 23rd. They're going to be in Pearland, somewhere out there by fucking James and Katie on May 6th and 7th. And then they're going to be in Lake Charles, Louisiana on June 3rd and 4th. Listen, they're crushing it again. I heard that at Conroe, fucking Sean got almost 4,000 people through the door on Saturday. On just Saturday. Go to herpshow.net, drop Sean and Laurie a line, let them know what a great job they're fucking doing, and try and get on the fucking waiting list for some of these shows. They're booking 2024 soon. Again, that's herpshow.net. All right, after last month, I really just have one thing to say. Thank God for fucking editing, man. All right, guys, so we have a quick announcement. Over half the podcasts out there look and sound like shit. 90% of the guests on those podcasts, that's you, look and sound like shit. So we're doing our part to remedy that for one lucky fan. We're running the Stop Looking and Sounding Like Shit giveaway this month. It's easy as fuck to enter, and we're giving away almost $400 in new podcast equipment so that you could look and sound your best, either being a guest on the show or running your own show. Listen, I don't have any gay ball pythons to raffle off, so this is what you get. One lucky winner will win a Logitech Brio 4K webcam, a Blue Yeti USB microphone, and a set of Tascam TH MX2 Studio headphones to make you look and sound your best when you're on camera. Stop looking and sounding like shit, okay? The rules to enter are simple. You'll see an ad on my Facebook and Instagram announcing the start of the giveaway immediately after this show airs today. Share that ad on your Facebook or Instagram and tag me in it and take a screenshot of that share. Email said screenshot to fatmancontest@gmail.com. That's it. That's all you got to do. I'll tally all the entrants, I'll throw them in an Excel file, and then right here on March 15th on Snakes and the Fat Man, I believe it's going to be episode 95, we will spin one of those gay little wheel things and pick a random winner. Again, one winner will win almost $400 in new podcast equipment to help you not sound and look like shit. Check my Instagram and Facebook right after this show for the ad announcing the giveaway, and good luck to everybody. Listen, you know as well as I do that if you use cut rate fucking cocoa substrate, you are a reptile bitch. Why in the fuck would you buy a $5,000 snake and then cheap out on the fucking substrate that it spends 100% of its fucking life on just to save $1 or $2 per brick? It just doesn't make fucking sense. Reptile is the best cocoa substrate on the fucking planet. Period. Why wouldn't you buy your cocoa substrate from a veteran-owned company? Do you hate American heroes? Maybe you're a fucking communist. You know what? If you're a communist, we don't want you buying Reptile anyway, you fuck. And if you are a communist, then fuck you. Reptile is the G.I. Joe of substrate, and that's a fact. See what I did there? Go check them out at reptile.com. So I wasn't going to bring this up, but did you ever notice how some of these reptile podcast people have 20,000 followers on Instagram and 30,000 subscribers on YouTube, yet they only get a dozen likes on their post, or they only get 200 views on their fucking YouTube videos? How in the fuck do you expect people to believe that you've been breeding for a year and a half, yet you have 30,000 IG followers? Look, I'm not claiming that I've cracked the fucking algorithm, but is this even possible? If it is, leave a comment below on this video because I would like to know. I'm just saying, something seems a little fishy here, huh? Now, here's another thing I wanted to address for some of these live podcast people. I understand that it's okay now, apparently, to beg for super chats on your live to pay your snake expenses or your rat bill. That's a thing now? We're doing that? Maybe, just maybe, If you could afford your stupid snakes prior to you starting a live, you wouldn't have to throw your fucking dignity out the window and beg strangers for money. Now, I'm not saying that people can't enjoy the bullshit, dumb content that we put out and want to support by giving super chats. I'm not saying that at all. Whenever I get a super chat on Fatman Live, I'm totally appreciative of it. But I'll never just blatantly, outright beg for super chats to pay my bills. Even these podcasters that say they're going to give 100% of the super chats to USARK, I don't support. First of all, I've never seen any proof from any podcaster that they actually sent all the money from a particular episode to USARK. But second of all, and more importantly, did you know that YouTube takes roughly 50% of every super chat right off the bat? So if you super chat $100 to somebody on one of these lives, automatically the host only gets 50, okay? So wouldn't it be smarter for these podcast hosts to tell you to go over to USARK directly and donate the $100 so that you know USARK is getting the full amount? YouTube only pays once a month, and that's if your watch time revenue is over $100. I'm not saying that every podcast host does this. I'm sure that some of them do actually send that money over to USARK. But if a month goes by and you don't see proof of a check or of a donation on PayPal to USARK, stop doing this. But the USARK thing is really only 20% of the argument. As one podcast host to another, have a little dignity and self-fucking respect and not ask strangers to pay your bill for an unnecessary hobby that you're probably going to be out of in 3 years once life throws you a fucking curveball. Again, if you support the host and the channel, throw super chat money at us. Sure, that's fine. Join our Patreons if you really like us. But for a host to actually ask you to give them super chats, I mean, come on, that's a little ballsy, isn't it? Leave a comment and let me know. I'm gonna read the Redline ad now, so excuse the glare off my fucking glasses for the ad read. Redline Shipping is the #1 service for all your live reptile, aquatics, and invertebrate shipping needs. Anyway, email Robin at redlineshipping.com to get your own custom discount to save you money over any of the competitors. Since we're in winter, live shipping is less frequent due to the cold temperatures. But you could ship your merchandise and dry goods year-round with Redline Shipping. Merchandise can be shipped with overnight, 2-day, 3-day, and ground services, just like UPS, but cheaper. If you follow the Redline guidelines for temperature and heat pack use, you could ship live animals throughout the winter and still make use of Redline Shipping on-time and live arrival insurance. RedlineShipping.com has the best website and interface in the industry, including features and functions that no other service offers. That's right, Robin is offering shit that no other service offers, okay? The site is fast, smooth, and easy to use. Use code FATMAN5, it's right over here. I'm gonna say it, boom, it's right over here, for an extra $5 off your already discounted rates. RedlineShipping.com is the spot. It's the place to be. Join Team Redline and be better off red. Yeah, glare is still there. I'm reading the Clutch ad now. Say goodbye to spreadsheets. Say hello to Clutch. This brand new cloud-based software makes managing your ball python collection simple. With Clutch, you can easily create, search, and filter your collection, visualize your projects with analytics and insights, keep track of past, present, and future clutches, and connect every customer with the perfect animal using a, using a fantastic wait list system. They've been running a limited beta since November, and I know a lot of you guys have been patiently waiting to test it out. Well, you're not going to have to wait much longer. Look, this is the deal when you're developing software, okay? That's all I'm saying. You run into glitches. You want to make it better. Give them the time to fucking make it perfect, okay? Like Apple. It'll just work when you get it. But anyway, you're not going to have to wait much longer. They're prepping for the official launch shortly. Head on over to clutch.io. That's CLTCH.io. There's no U in there, okay? There's no fucking U. CLTCH.io to learn more and get ready to discover the power of your collection.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Hey guys, it's Justin at Canova. So in the past few years, Canova's become the top source for amazing ball pythons. Now Chris tells me, Justin, it's time to give back. So we're sponsoring the 15 Minutes of Lame to support the new and upcoming breeders. So jump in here. Let's hear your ideas. Let's hear your thoughts. Maybe you can turn your 15 minutes of lame into 20 years of lame, just like I did. If you want to be the man, you got to beat the man. So bring it.
15 Minutes of Lame!
All right, everybody, look who I have here. I have the guy that wasn't even in the 15 Minutes of Lame contest, who was making fucking these cool ass reels that made hundreds of people fucking laugh. Jake Hole from the Ophidiarium. Yeah.
I knew that was coming. I knew it would happen. Ophidiarium.
Ophidiarium.
There we go.
That's even, I was even doing the syntax of it wrong. Ophidiarium.
I've heard other people say Ophidiarium.
That's what everybody's calling you. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So actually, you know how this works. We're gonna give you 15 minutes to pimp your shit. Let's just start that now. What's with the fucking name, man?
Okay. So there's a story. So I was given our first snake as a guy was a friend. He was saying, "Hey, I can't take care of the snake anymore. Can you take it? Are you interested?" And my daughter, I have 3 daughters, and my oldest at the time was like really into reptiles and snakes, and we hadn't gotten any or anything like that. And he's like, "Would you like it?" So as soon as we took it, and I researched first, and I was like, "This is actually pretty cool stuff."
It was a ball python.
It was a ball python. Yep, okay. It was just the Firefly. I still have him, but he after that I got another one, of course, because that one wasn't friendly. So I had to get a little baby one that my daughter would actually feel comfortable holding. So then my oldest brother's like, "Yo," so uses this big old word where I'm like, "What in the world does that word mean?" He's like, "It's the Ophidiarium, you know, it's a snake house or a snake room or home or whatever." And I was like, "Ah, okay." Threw that in the back of my head, forgot about it for a while, and then later when we decided that we'd actually go into try to breed ball pythons and do something, make something out of it, I was like, that word, what was that word? And I came back to him, he's like, "Yeah, that word." And I was like, "Yeah, you have too big of a vocabulary for me." So, but he got all the IQ and I didn't. But so we took that, and plus with a name like Jake Hole, there's so many other Jake snakes or whatever rhymey-trimey that way. Or I couldn't go with my last name and call it Holy Balls or something like that. That wouldn't work out either. So I went with something that I could actually probably market a little better.
Well, I mean, you definitely got your fucking road laid out here. Now, the Ophidiarium, right? Where do they call snake houses that?
It's Greek. So it's an ancient Greek form of this. Ophid is snake in Greek, and then arium, like a terrarium. So,
all right. Well, I got to tell you, I was fully prepared to give it a 5 when I thought it was the Ophidiarium, but now I am fully prepared to give it a 9 that it's the Ophidiarium. Okay. So I definitely like that. You definitely did good there. Now you're out in PA, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Born and raised. Yep.
There's not much ball python competition out there, is there?
I mean, I feel like there is. I mean, not like big name guys, but there's a lot of ball python expos and stuff in the area. With
Are you closer to Pittsburgh or Philadelphia?
closer to Philly. I'm closer to Harrisburg, really, out of either of those. But I'm only like 30, 40 minutes from Hamburg. I'm only 20, 30 minutes from Lebanon, which there's one in there. And then if I went to Philly, that's only like an hour and a half away. So there's stuff in the area. Gettysburg isn't too far either.
Well, that's what I was going to ask you, because that's the one that I've heard. I mean, Hamburg is maybe close to you, but that shit is a Tijuana fucking junk sale.
I think it's neat, some of the stuff they have there as far as like the type of animals that are there. It's pretty neat just to walk through there, but you got to be careful.
Yeah, but you guys in fucking Pennsylvania will sell any jackass a fucking pit viper and fucking just get away with it, you know?
Yeah.
I tell the story all the time, and I'm not going to delve into your time here, but last time I went to Hamburg, there was a dead cat outside the entrance, and they just left a dead cat out there all day. That's all they did was fucking, they just left it out there. But by 4:30, it was all blown up and shit, and I was like, is anybody going to get rid of this cat, you know? And no, they just left it there, man.
The funny thing is, the first time I went, just real quick, but the first time I went to Hamburg was like in 2011, and I went there, or no, it was a little after. It was like 2013, somewhere in there. Went there and was just totally blown away, and I was like, "What in the world is this place?" And I never went back until after we got the first snake that we had. Then I went back there just to kind of see a little more once I knew what I was actually looking at.
Right.
And I was just like, it was definitely a shock when you walk into a place like that.
Yeah, it's one of the few places where you could buy like a 7-foot boa, a chicken, a fucking alligator. You know, it's definitely. It reminded me of like old California strip mall shows. You know, when everybody would just bring their snakes on a Sunday to sell. But yeah, no, Hamburg is fucking weird. Now, how long have you been doing this?
So we got our first snake, the one that was given to us in 2019. So just before COVID.
And how many do you have now?
In the house, I have 23. So I don't have too many. But
okay. Well, when you said in the house, it means that you also have snakes somewhere else.
No. Well, some of them, 6 of them are a friend of mine. Well, I'm holding on to them for him, but they might be absorbed into my collection because he's not sure if he wants it back. So I don't know what that really means yet. But for now, I'm holding on to them. So
have you actually bred yet?
I've had one clutch last season, early this year, technically. So it was my first clutch. That was a GHI Mojave Hypo to a GHI Hypo, trying to get a super GHI, but didn't actually get that, unfortunately.
Did you actually get any hypos out of it?
Oh, they were all hypo. Just because.
Okay, so they were visuals. They just weren't. Yeah. Okay. All right. Okay. And what do you think? Like, what's the plan? Is the plan to do this for a living?
No, that is not my plan. I have a job as a machinist. I'm technically the supervisor in that department now, but I'm a machinist by trade. So I work in a steel foundry down in Reading, Pennsylvania, and that's my job. And I like that job, and I like this as a hobby. So,
and it probably pays benefits, right?
Yes. Yep.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. All right. And so you've been doing this since 2019, right?
Yep.
So 4 years, baby. You're going on your 4th year, right?
Close to it. Yep.
Okay. How much money have you put into this?
Not too much yet. Going slow about this. My approach was kind of just to grow into business, not like go into business and go hardcore or anything like that. So I just been kind of sitting on the sidelines, kind of watching, learning from a distance. But I've only probably put in $5,000. I have a lot of hets. I don't have a lot of visuals. So
okay, no, that's great.
No.
Now, have you sold anything? Have you sold that clutch that you had last year?
I have not. I have traded one of those snakes for another snake. I've not sold a single snake. So
Oh my God, you fucking trick. All right. No, I'm not gonna say nothing. That's that's a way of getting some new stuff into your collection. So you put in $5,000 after 4 years, made back zero.
zero.
I made back another snake
Made back another snake.
that you didn't have to buy, right? All right. And do you have a family that's into this?
Yeah, yeah. So I have three daughters. The oldest is 7, the youngest is 2. And then my wife, she's all for it. She doesn't necessarily care to clean and do all the important breeding and all that stuff, but she likes them. She holds them. She takes pictures and makes little hats that she puts on them that she crochets and that whole thing that you love, I'm sure.
Oh my God, GAY. Okay. Well, that's cool. So, do you have any other species that you're working with?
I do have. I had 2 emerald tree boas, a male and a female. The female didn't make it, and then I do have a female leopard gecko, but that was just kind of a pet gecko to have.
Gotcha. Yeah, the emeralds, are, fucking snake that if you move the cage over a foot, the thing that has a heart attack and fucking drops dead. So it's it's definitely a weird thing. Now we're gonna talk about sponsors for a little bit. So I'm curious as to what a guy in Pennsylvania actually has, because I don't really spend any time in Pennsylvania, so I don't know what's big and what's not big out there. But first and foremost, if you were to ship, when you start shipping, do you use Redline shipping?
I do have a Redline shipping account, and I have shipped that snake to California with Redline shipping. So
Get the fuck out of here. Robin Markland does not give Jake Hole a fuck you. Oh, that's fucking amazing. Do you use ReptiChip?
and I do use ReptiChip, and I've only ever used ReptiChip so far. So
That's what I'm talking about. Okay. Fucking Jake Hole does not get a fuck you from JT. Have you ever, we got a twofer here. Have you ever bought a snake from Canova, and do you use Clutch?
I've saved his snakes on Morph Market, and I bought a T-shirt from him, but I have not bought a snake. So I don't know if that's a half a point or if that's a
No,
0.
no, that is 0 points. That is just that is just what is expected, okay, with Canova. So Justin gives you a 2-handed, 2-finger double fuck you. I know you're gonna say no to this one. Have you ever been to a herp show?
No, I have not.
Sean Gray, right there, right after Justin, taking that extra finger and fucking giving it over to you. Do you have a focus cubed habitat cage in your house?
Nope.
Yeah, you're just saying fuck Texas now, right? That's what you're basically telling me.
Sorry.
All right, Stephen and Ashley give you a big old fuck you, man. Do you have a sea serpents rack or incubator in the house?
I don't. They are
Holy
popular in Pennsylvania, but I don't.
First time I met Chris Nettles was at the Ham Show or Hamburg Show.
We did, yeah.
So when he used to go up there, but
No,
Chris Nettles gives you a fuck you.
I'm cheap, and I built my own. Sorry, yeah.
You're one of those, huh? Okay. All right. I'm looking at your logo. It's probably not a Stewart Design logo, is it?
Nope. That same older brother who told me the big fancy word, the Ophidiarium, he's the one who designed that for me. So he's a graphic designer. So.
Well, I will say it's not a bad logo. I like the logo. Okay. I do like the logo, but still Blake Stewart is like fucking fuck Jake Hole. You have a Morph Market account, right?
I do. Yep.
Okay. John Lehman does not give you a fuck you. Fucking you're keeping afloat a little bit. Now you have a leopard gecko, right?
I do.
Did you buy that leopard gecko from Frank over at Geeky Gecko Creations?
Sorry, Frank. Nope.
Oh, fucking Frank. Giving you a big Italian fuck you all the way over from fucking Arizona. Oh my God. All right. I think we got through all of them. Now your reels, you're fucking crushing it on the reels, right? So give me an example. Like, how do you shoot your reels? Do you shoot it with a real camera and then transfer it over, or do you just do everything iPhone?
It's all iPhone at this point, and honestly, like any inspiration for it, I would just say that I watched too much Monty Python and the Flying Circus as growing up, and that's what influenced me a little too much, I think, into some of these videos. And if you were, not that I want you to, but if you were to go to my Facebook's personal page and go back to like 2008, there's some pretty ridiculous videos that me and my brother made that probably would maybe make you laugh in the same way that this laughed. But yeah.
Well, you look pretty young. How old are you?
I'm only 30.
Yeah, see, you're fucking. I shouldn't even be talking to you. But you kill it on the fucking reels, man. Was the intention of doing the 15-minute reels to get on 15 minutes?
I wouldn't say that it was my intention, but I did want. I mean, I think I had been on one of your breeder live that you had done, and I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like, there's a lot of people who were there that I was like, oh, I recognize that person. But then just to where was it going with that? This happens once an episode.
Man, you kind of suck at this, huh?
Okay. But no, I don't remember where I was going with that. I'm sorry. Ask me again.
Well, did you do the 15-minute reels to get on 15 minutes?
That's what it was. No, not really. Just to kind of have fun with it and put my name out there, and yeah.
Well, I mean, it worked, man. It totally worked. Now, how could people get in touch with you?
I have an Instagram, Facebook. There's a TikTok floating in another space that I don't touch ever, and then Gmail and Morph Market. All of those you can find at.
All right, doesn't matter now. See, you fucking just fucked up the time with fucking up that story. Okay. But seriously, I like you. So fucking, it's the Ophidiarium, right? On all those accounts.
Yep.
Okay. And is it J. Cole on Facebook?
Yep.
Okay. All right. Good deal, man. Dude, thank you for taking the time for fucking doing this. Thank you for all the fucking reels that you did.
Yeah. Thank you for having me on. I really appreciate it too. So
no, this is gonna be fun because fucking I would say at least 65 people asked to have you on. They were like, get the guy on that did the reels, get the guy on it, so it really made an impact. And a lot of those were people that I respect. So I appreciate all the work that you did on those. I appreciate that you took the time today to do this. And we'll put this out when it gets out, and we'll go from there.
Awesome, I appreciate it. Yeah.
All right, Jake. Thank you again, man. Thank you very much.
All right.
All right, brother.
All right. Bye.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, Snakes in the Fatman proudly brings to you its new breeder segment, 15 Minutes of Lame!
Listen, guys, Stewart Design doesn't just create logos, they build brands. What do I mean by this? Well, your brand has both a verbal and visual side. Think of this as your brand message and brand image. Your brand message is what initially draws clients to you and continually generates new business. After that, the quality of your product and service keeps them coming back and retains them. Without effective messaging, you're only going to be connecting with a small percentage of the clients you could be connecting with. Your brand message helps you clearly define who you are, how are you different from your competitors, what value you offer to your clients, and why potential clients should choose you over others. For this reason, Stewart Design always starts branding projects by developing your brand's message first. Creating a logo without understanding why and how it needs to look is only going to hold your company back and should be considered fucking malpractice. Stewart Design starts by clarifying your goals, audience, and industry. Then they form your messaging. After that, they strategically determine what colors, styles, and fonts make the most sense to use. And then finally, how the logo needs to look and function. You see, the visual identity of a company should be a natural result of proper strategy. Because the question really shouldn't be, do I like this? It should be, will this work? Stewart Design figures out what will actually work and provides you with a true investment to grow your business. When done right, it should attract the right people and it should reflect your business properly. It should make your company more memorable and it should build trust and credibility with your clients. On the other hand, if it's done poorly, it could do the exact opposite. It could make you look amateur and can actually deter your business. Don't settle for a fucking idiot that simply offers you a cheap logo. Build your brand the right way. Bring out your best so you could get it right from the start and finally move out of your mother's fucking basement, crush it at Tinley, Pomona, or Arlington, and build a life for yourself doing what you love. Contact Stewart Design today. You could reach them at sdidentity.com. Again, that's sdidentity.com. All right, so one of my guests today is returning fan favorite Patrick McKnight of McKnight Stables and his brand new partner, Andre Kosovych from Capital Reptiles. Both of these guys have been tremendously successful in the ball python business for years now. And for some reason, smack dab in the middle of this ball python market correction, they chose to merge companies. They're going all in and investing a ton of money in what's probably the biggest ball python partnership in the last 10 years. Maybe, just maybe, you should listen to what these guys have to say. Look who I have here. Fan favorite Patrick McKnight and Andre, villain in a Liam Neeson movie, Kosovich. All right? What's up, guys? How you doing?
Hey, man. How you doing?
And not even going to bury the lead. You guys are here to make an announcement, right?
Yeah, man. We're super excited. So most of the people that are watching this probably are familiar with either one of us or both of us. As you said, I'm Patrick, formerly of Macknight Stables, and Andre, formerly of Capital Reptiles. As of the airing of this show, February 1st, 2023, we are merging our companies and becoming one called Chimera. So super exciting, the merger, and hopefully things to come in the future with it.
Well, and what brought this about? Were you guys just like, we're not losing money fast enough, we want to lose it twice as fast, so we're going to join forces and see how much cash we could burn through? Well, what was the reasoning behind this?
He came over to my house. Yeah, he came over to my house after he got off work. And I think we ultrasounded snakes for like 2 hours at my house. Yeah. And I think we walked outside and I just sat down like, what if we combined businesses?
Just like that? Just like,
yeah. We kind of like chatted before, you know, like kind of joking, because it is a huge commitment, because we both like spent years and years and years building our businesses, you know. But
right.
That one day it just kind of like made sense logically that we both live like within an hour of each other. You know, we already, you know, go help each other out. We already, you know, we used to breed rats together. We share cypress supplies when we need to, you know. It's just like, it just kind of makes sense to like combine and be more efficient, have a one big company versus two smaller ones, you know.
Yeah, but you guys still have pretty substantial companies on your own, right?
Yeah.
What's the I mean, what's the process of doing this combination now? Because there's paperwork that has to be filed. There's animals that need to be moved. There's probably, if you're going to combine with everything in the same place, you're going to have to rent a place now as opposed to just working with them at home. What's some of the involved things that you guys got to go through just in order to get this done?
Yeah, we started out evaluating each one of our collections. Not like what snakes we have for sale, but just the total value of each of our snakes, just to kind of like compare businesses in the money ways, just so we can have our goal was to have 50-50 share. So we started with that. And what was the next step? Just kind of talking about all this combinations of.
Yeah, so it's been a shit show. Like, let's just be clear, it's been a shit show. It's hard. Chris, you're right. There's a lot. Like, the paperwork itself isn't terrible. We basically file as a new LLC. We're a partnership at this point. The paperwork is all fairly standard. The difficult parts were, like Andre said, making sure that we had fair evaluation so that we came into this like a 50-50 partnership, and like how you deal with the equity on either side. That's not 100%. So we figure out how are we going to do a payment scale over the next 3-4 years to make sure that both of us are coming in equal. As far as the location goes, I had already planned on buying land and putting up a new building for my stuff. And so it kind of all already started heading that direction. Things got changed up a little bit. Land is gotten significantly more expensive over the past couple of years. People weren't aware.
No, get right out of town.
Interest rates.
Right.
Yeah, and then interest rates have gone through the roof. So we had to adjust things slightly, but at the end of the day, we actually came to the conclusion that it's going to be easier. We're going to put a 3,200 square foot building on Andre's property because he's out in the country, where we're going to be able to do snakes and rats for the next 3 to 4 years. And then over that time, the property that my wife and I were planning on buying, we're going to end up putting like a 5,000 square foot building. So it'll be a short-term solution, filling the building, and then, over the next 4 to 5 years, moving everything back out onto like a really large, 5,000 square foot facility that we can hopefully stay at for the next, 20 years.
Well, even now, 3,200 square feet is way bigger than what either of you have now, right?
Yeah.
Oh,
that
yeah,
includes
yeah.
like a rat building attached to it.
Yeah, so that's going to be about 1,500 square feet of rats, and 1,700 square feet or so of just animals. So snakes, incubator, hatchlings, all of that. And then we're actually going to use Andre's current house as our office, so that we have office space, shipping space, all of that stuff.
Yeah.
Oh, and your wife is okay with that?
Well, we're leaving.
They're moving. Yeah, they're leaving. The business is literally taking over the whole property.
Yeah.
Okay.
The business will live there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you're getting a different house so that your wife doesn't got to deal with two lunatic snake breeders all day. Okay.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yes.
All right.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Now,
We actually just thought of this like today. So
Yeah,
we've been
well,
talking about buying land and putting a building on it, and then all this. And then I was like, it would save us $100,000 just to put it on my land.
right.
So.
And how long, excuse me, or how far away is this from actually happening? Like from laying the concrete, laying the foundation, how long is this?
If ground does not break within 4 weeks, things have gone horribly wrong. So
Okay.
yeah, middle of February. So from the airing of this, like I'm hoping that we have groundbreaking on like middle of February, so like 14th, 15th time frame.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the building itself will probably, Patrick, your internet sucks ass, man. You're freezing
you're
up.
jumping.
Yeah.
Is it bad?
Why don't you
Audio's
sign?
fine, but your video.
Yeah. Your audio's fine. Yeah, but why don't you sign out and then come right back in?
All right. Yeah. Sorry, man.
All right.
We're on the same Wi-Fi.
Yeah, I know. It's pretty funny. So how long is going to be the build for the building? Because the only thing I have to go by is I remember when Justin began to break ground on his. How long is it going to take you guys?
So we don't know the time frame on how long it takes to install, but like once we buy the building, they said they can deliver it in 6 weeks. And I mean, it's like one of those metal buildings, like Justin.
Oh, all right.
Probably
So
a little cheaper and simpler. So
gotcha. Okay.
It probably won't take that long because it's kind of like semi prefab.
So it's pre-built.
Yeah.
And you just gotta what?
Get a slab and put that on it. It comes with insulation, but we're gonna. Justin said to it's never enough insulation, so we're gonna build like normal walls and drywall and insulation on the inside of it.
Right. Well, and how much is just the building going to cost you guys?
So
just the metal part is 60-ish thousand with insulation.
Okay.
Yeah. So
well, that's actually not too bad. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's not terrible. For the building and the slab, we're looking at like 110,000, and then framing, electrical work, HVAC, all that
HVAC.
stuff will probably add another 100 to 125. So I'm expecting 250 to 300 when all is said and done for the building.
Okay. Do you have to file any type of paperwork as far as what the property's zoned as?
It's agriculture, my land.
Oh, it is. Okay.
So we're hoping everything is pretty simple because they're not that strict on that type of land,
Okay.
So
Well,
we're gonna talk to
and
the
I guess
contractor and kind of get him talking to the county and make sure everything's good, sites
Right.
building up my land and that kind of stuff. But
well, and I guess the timeline makes sense because if you're breaking ground in February, you probably won't even move in until like May, right?
yeah, and we don't want to
Yes.
move too early because we have snakes breeding now. You don't want to move them around.
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
We don't know if it really messes with snakes, but I feel like it does. So just trying to
Yeah.
time it. What they lay, we move them, or kind of time it out.
I think
Right,
the goal
okay.
is like if we can have everything done by August, realistically at the latest, and then start filling the building after August with animals
Right.
that have already clutches and stuff. I think that's a good good time frame, but we'll just have to see how it works.
Yeah.
Well, and in your budget, are you allotting for things like new racks and everything else that you would need, incubators, or are you going to have an incubator room?
Yeah, we're gonna do an incubator room kind of in the middle of the building, just like crazy insulated and insulated by the building's temperature, just to make it like a nice walk-in one. Just enough space
Right,
for
okay.
everything,
Well, because it sounds like realistically, construction costs could go up to $500,000 pretty easily, right?
Yeah. We're hoping not, but at least the
Yeah.
building just is like kind of set on that, and it comes with that. So
Yeah,
Okay.
I think realistically on the high side, we're looking at 300K for like just the building and all the infrastructure. As for like the racks and the ancillary stuff, like that's definitely going to cost more. But I think
and we don't
I think
need that all initially to fill it. We have
Right.
our current racks. We'll move them in and add a couple as we grow. We'll grow into the space.
Right. Okay.
So
Is it going to be one kind of open floor concept, or is it going to be different rooms for babies, different rooms for subadults?
Yeah. It's an open concept. It won't have like doors separating rooms, but it'll have like mini walls separating sections, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
all
Yeah.
same airflow.
Like minimum security prison.
Basically. Yeah. Basically.
Right.
If
Well,
you think like Heroes of Justin's place, like it's gonna have a similar feel to some of that, where like there's not a lot of doors, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay. And being that you guys are running this out of your house right now, or I'm not even sure, Andre, are you running out of your house right now or no?
I have like an outbuilding on my property, so
Okay.
it's on my property, but not in my house.
Okay. And then Patrick, I know you are, right?
I have a building as well. Yeah, I have a building as well.
Oh, okay.
It's a detached garage.
Yeah, it's like a
Gotcha.
detached garage. So like 400 or 500 square foot area.
Do you notice that was a little dig by Andre against you, right?
He did.
Right.
He's like,
Is the detached garage not that good? Does it sound bad?
You totally noticed that, right? Andre's like,
It's
yeah,
nicer than my building.
yeah. Andre's like, I have an outbuilding,
Yeah.
and then
So Andre's
Patrick's like,
I
yeah,
have
I
a
do
building.
too.
What do you mean?
There's a
Andre's
spare
like,
room.
I have a shed. That's what he should say, but it's fine. It's fine.
Right, right.
It's
Yeah, you may as well have just said, yeah, he has a shed from Home Depot. Okay.
He
But
had snakes in his extra bedroom for almost 6 months when a tree fell in his building. So
that's true.
that was
That did-
pretty awful.
yeah. Okay. And basically, what are you guys hoping to accomplish with this being, like a partnership now? Because right off the bat, you have to make at least double the money, right? In order to keep yourselves paid.
Easily.
Yeah.
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 And we're broken now, so we should both make more money than we did this year and next year.
Yeah.
In addition to making the business money, that's the goal.
Right. You should, but should is a, complicated word.
Sure.
It's a very complicated word. So
There's no
fortunately-
guarantees in anything.
So we have a couple of things that go for us in this area. First, Andre and I have actually pretty distinct collections when it comes to the projects we work. There's some overlap, but there's not a lot. So we're able to expand as a team. We're able to expand and actually look at more like quadruple and triple recessive stuffs because the projects mix fairly well. So,
Right.
just for like one example, I was really heavy on like Ultramel stuff, and then like hypo stuff and things like that, and then DG hypo, things like that. Whereas Dreamsicle, and then Andre came in with like Desert Ghost Clown, Desert Ghost Pied, Xanthic Pied, like those things. So a lot of those projects mesh fairly well together. So it helps us expand in the projects that we can hit. So that's a big bonus. Also, just the cost of not having to have multiple employees. Like we can get one employee that helps us with everything. Things like that really help. So
rats in one location.
And once this actually comes to fruition, both of you are going to be doing it full time?
Yes.
Ugh.
He has like a semi-part-time job. We'll see. When we get busy, I will tell him to quit his job. How about that?
Yeah. So I still have my position at UVA. I enjoy it. It keeps me very involved with science and things like that. Until it gets in the way of the business, I'll keep it. The moment that the business itself, the moment Chimera starts suffering because of the UVA position, I'll walk away from it. But until then, it pays. Yeah, Andre will let me know when it's time to quit. But
right.
It pays well enough that it doesn't make sense to walk away.
Right, gotcha. And what do you actually do? You teach at the university, or are you a research guy?
Yeah, it's all research. So it's called bioinformatics. Essentially, I look at really large sets of data and find tiny differences. So I'm looking at human genomes and looking for mutations, specifically differential alternative splicing. And basically, I'm looking for these splice variants in DNA to determine potential drug targets for different diseases.
Okay. And Andre, you are also a doctor, no?
No, I'm not that.
No. Fucking go ahead, Patrick. Get him back for that garage joke. All right?
I mean, it doesn't need to be said.
I have a bachelor's degree, which is the garage of degrees.
The garage of degrees.
Holy shit. So what did you do prior to this? What did you do prior to this?
I was a medical laboratory scientist. So I ran blood work in a hospital. So every good hospital, there's a lab in there. And when you're in there, you get your blood drawn and we can test you, make sure everything's good, do blood transfusions and that kind of stuff, get everything matched up.
And you're like the more pompous of the two of you because you quit that job 6 months ago, right?
Yeah.
Right. And you're just like, you're just like, I could fucking make this happen, man. I've seen so many people fail at this, but I could make it happen. So, and how long ago did you guys decide, to partner up? Because did you quit your job before this partnership was?
Yeah.
Oh man,
we decided like 2 months ago.
Yeah. So Andre and I, the official like us deciding to make this happen was about 2 months ago, but. Like you said earlier, we had like loose conversations here and there, like, hey, wouldn't it be nice? Or like, I wonder what it would be like. Like, we do a lot of business already together and things are kind of intertwined a lot as is. So it just made sense at this point. But yeah, it was only about 2 months ago that we made it official. So yeah.
Were you guys just thinking, Andre buys a lot from me, and I buy a lot from Andre. So if we get together, okay.
No, ironically,
make more money.
Yeah, we should make more money. It makes perfect sense.
You're my best customer, so now I will not make any sales off you anymore.
That's right.
I don't think. Man, you just found a flaw in our business plan, Chris. Damn it!
It's what I do. It's what I'm Joe Down.
$2,000 a year is gone now.
If we partner with Justin, then we'll make even more money, Andre. That makes perfect
That's right.
sense.
If the three you partner with Justin, all three will be fucking rolling in it in 6 months.
That's it.
So
maybe I'll be able to buy a Ferrari then. I'll be cool like Justin.
Well, you guys too. I mean, you guys are two of the more successful people out there, right? Like I'm not saying you're Justin or Bob Vu, but you definitely run the business wise where you both have been fairly successful in it, right? Like more so than a basement breeder, let's say, from Alabama or whatever. So
I feel very confident saying that, especially with the merger, Andre and I are probably top 15 breeders in the country and possibly the world. I feel our income is definitely up there. I think the projects we work, I'm very proud of what we do separately, and what we're going to be able to do together is going to be spectacular. So, yeah, I think it's fair to say we've been very successful at this to this point.
Yeah, well, I was going to say, I think that both of you are in the top 10 right now. So it would be, if you guys, and I'm just not kissing ass because both of you guys give me money, okay?
We pay you money. You better be nice to us.
Chris, the check's in the mail. I'll get you another check. God.
No, but the thing is that, if this business becomes as successful as you want it to, I'm going to ask for more money, okay?
That's fair. That's fair.
Because, listen, I'm the only drama-free podcaster out there,
Oh, my God. We're going to do this already. Wow, we got there quick.
Yeah,
I
we
hope
like
it's so timely in 2 weeks when people listen.
Yeah, no.
Yeah, we don't even know what's going on in 2 weeks. You never know. Could change.
Yeah, in 2 weeks, we don't know what the drama is.
Yeah.
Currently, for those listening, it's the Sean drama today, and then a week ago was the MJ drama. So just go find that in the annals of.
Oh, they already know. Okay, they've already been drawn.
This is airing in like 7 days, so by then we could have had like 4 more incidents.
It's a new news cycle coming through.
Yep.
Yeah.
So I will throw this question at you guys, being that you guys have been in this forever.
Yeah.
What do you think is more of an issue in the hobby, bullying or racism?
Right. Oh God. Okay. Racism, but they're both big problems. They both are very detrimental in the industry. I have a bigger issue with racism. Honestly, my biggest issue at this point is I just wish people would just act like grown-ups. Like we don't need to have people using racial slurs on podcasts and just kind of acting like it's not a big deal. And we don't need to have people calling and leaving voicemails and sending text messages when they don't agree with someone and like harassing them. Like I get like we get upset in the heat of the moment and things happen and it is what it is, but like as a whole, if the industry would just do a lot better if a lot more people just acted like adults, like we're at the end of the day, we're making hundreds of thousands of dollars or millions of dollars a year selling fucking broken animals that don't have shoulders. Like they don't have shoulders and they're just pretty looking. Like why the fuck are any of us pissed off about shit? Like, come on, like just be adults and enjoy the moment. Let's have a good time. Let's breed incredible, awesome looking animals and enjoy our friendships. I don't know. It's exhausting sometimes.
What about you, Andre? Racism or bullying?
I think racism is worse because it applies to most, like a big chunk of the people. Where bullying obviously is, stupid to do and rude, but it only applies to that group that you're actually attacking. Racism can make a lot of people feel uncomfortable.
Right.
But what if we bully someone for their race? Then we get a delightful combination of the two.
Oh yeah, yeah. Because you could be like, I love everybody. I don't care if you're white, black, yellow, purple. And then you start thinking, wait, fuck these purple people, right? Like fucking, we're going to bully the fuck out of them. And we're just fucking, we're going to see where this goes. So that could happen. But at the end of the day, I think they were both like Sean's issue did not negate MJ's issue.
Yeah.
So
they're independent of it. Yeah.
Right.
They are. Right. Yeah. They're independent.
And the reason that I could say that is like this whole industry is not really my world. Right. So I don't give a fuck what most people do or don't do. Right. But like their world is fucking, based on fairness and animals and reptile. My world is based on making people laugh and fucking, pushing the envelope a little to make a joke and not even caring, that it bothers. But the one thing that I always say is the one thing that I have up on MJ and Sean is that I have an actual job, right? So if this all went away tomorrow and I got canceled, it's not going to matter at all to me. But at the end of the day, I just like fucking making people laugh. And And I tell people all the time, this isn't a reptile podcast. Like, you don't come on my show to teach people stuff, okay? Nobody gives a fuck, and nobody will listen. Yeah. I would garner to say that nobody has learned anything on my show ever, okay? I think the biggest thing that they learned,
I'm trying to think, yeah.
The biggest thing that they learned was that Will Banks puts out 3,000 clutches a year, okay?
Oh, and you know what? That might be it. That might be the one thing I really feel like I've learned.
That was surprising.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like,
yeah.
But other than that, people don't come here to fucking learn about husbandry. You know, they come here to see hot girls in tight t-shirts and fucking people making jokes. You know, so that's why I just feel like, you know, we could talk about anything here. It doesn't matter. Like, we don't even have to talk about your stupid little merger if you don't want to. But I got a feeling that you guys would rather do that. Okay.
I don't know. I mean, honestly, like, how many people really care? Like, at the end of the day, it's kind of the same thing they have with Canova, right? Like, you had JKR, the next day it was Canova. People were still buying snakes. Like, I think the only difference now is people are going to be buying really cool snakes from Chimera instead of buying really cool snakes from McKnight Stables or Capital Reptiles.
Right.
I think on the customer side, it really won't change things that much except for the name of the company that you're buying from. So, I mean, yeah, man.
It's a good thing you said that, because I really thought you were going to say they're going to be buying cool snakes from Chimera instead of Canova. And
well, yeah, I mean, that's obvious. I mean, that's it. Give us 3 years. We'll crush you.
Fucking shots fired.
Well, I mean, wait, wasn't that that was the whole 15 minutes of lame thing, right? Was like, you got to bring it. I think this is step 1 to bringing it, right?
That's right. He's like, if you want to beat them, you know, if you want to
beat off the rest, beat the rest. Is that what it is?
Yeah, no, it is what it is, man. Not saying nothing to Justin. Okay, obviously, Justin, we're only kidding because Justin gives me more money than you guys. So you guys got some catching up to do. Okay.
Yeah.
We'll get there.
But now, you guys just don't sell domestically, right? You guys do a lot of work internationally too.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'd say this year close to 60% of the animals I produced either went overseas or are going overseas soon. So yeah, it's
60%. Okay.
Yeah, yeah, it's
Thailand,
a pretty.
Thailand's buying a lot, especially from
here.
A lot of dreamsicles and stuff.
Yeah,
like
I sold close to 45 animals to Thailand, which I know, like, for some of the bigger breeders is a small order, but you know, I produce like 250, 300 animals a year, and so selling like 45, 50 to one breeder, you know, in Thailand is a pretty significant portion of my sales for the year.
Right, gotcha.
Which haven't been shipped yet, and maybe never will. But we're
yeah, they haven't been shipped yet. We're having issues getting them over there. Unfortunately, it's been a pain in the ass, but hopefully they can figure out their CITES paperwork. Otherwise, I don't know what's going to happen. They haven't figured that one out.
Right. Well, right now you guys still use CITES approved guy, right?
Yeah,
we
don't
do it yourself. Yeah, we're not doing our own stuff yet. Once the merger probably not this year. Probably next year we'll have enough together that it'll justify starting to have to try and do our own paperwork. But as of now, you know, there's a couple of guys that do a really good job of exporting stuff anyway, and so it just hasn't made sense yet to start doing our own stuff. But as the numbers,
the buyer is the one who pays the commission, so it doesn't really affect like the small breeder, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
But you know, as we get bigger, we can, you know, just make more sales, and I think it'll make it worth it.
Does CITES still do that whole master list bullshit?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You were talking to Will Morose at Tinley. He was telling us about the master CITES, and it's all this complicated paperwork that we don't know anything about, basically.
Right. Okay. All
right.
You're not supposed to say that, Andre. We know everything. No, we don't. We don't know shit. It's all going to be a learning.
I think that Andre saying that leads right into the next topic, which is you guys are also doing consulting.
Yeah. We
so just like my free consultation to you guys is for Andre not to say a bunch of stuff we know nothing about on a public podcast. I think that may help you guys a little bit. Please excuse this brief interruption for a word from one of our sponsors. How fucking thrilled am I to have Focus Cubed Habitats joining the Snakes in the Fatman family. They are literally the best display cages that I've ever owned. I was a fan of this husband and wife team of builders from when they were putting out these amazing pieces of fucking art from their garage. Stephen and Ashley have been keeping reptiles for years, and as experienced keepers, they understand how important your animals are in your life. Focus Cubed Habitats provide security and comfort for your animals while maintaining these insane, badass designs that everyone can appreciate. They give you the opportunity to make their home part of your home. You want options? They've got options. Every Focus Cubed Habitat is custom made to your specs, and you could choose from hundreds of options on their website. Too many options? Ashley and Steven have a huge selection of blog-style articles and complete accessory fact pages on their website to help educate consumers about add-ons that will best fit their individual needs. Listen, at the end of the day, these fucking cages are showpieces. Every cage that Focus builds will be the centerpiece of your reptile room. Hell, they could be the centerpiece of your fucking living room. If you have reptiles that you want to display, look no further than Focus Cubed Habitats. You can follow them on Instagram, Facebook, and even fucking TikTok. Or just go old school and go right to FocusCubedHabitats.com and tell them that the Fat Man told you to drop them a line.
Hey, this is Robin at Redline Shipping. I've got some Redline Shipping insights and tips for you. I want to take a quick moment to talk about something very basic but important, shipping tape. When you're shipping live animals, whether it's reptiles, aquatics, or inverts, the FedEx Packaging Lab actually has a shipping tape requirement. You have to use an actual shipping tape. This is the one I use. I get it from Uline. It is a rubber-based shipping tape. They offer half a dozen different types of shipping tape. I like the 3-inch for the extra coverage, but the 2-inch is very common as well. Makes a lot of noise, but it sticks well and holds your packages tight. When I'm going to attack my boxes, I like to use a nice tape gun. This one I know is mine because it says Redline Science and Redline Shipping on it. But invest 15 or 20 bucks, get yourself a good tape gun, make your tape job look really nice. Let's talk really quickly about shipping tapes that you cannot use for shipping. Number one, very common, duct tape. Duct tape is very popular, very common. It's a fabric-based tape. It has a million different uses, but it should not be used on shipping boxes for live animals. What happens with this fabric tape is the edges tend to roll up, and those will catch on the different conveyors and sorters in the FedEx system, and it'll actually cause problems with your package. So whether you're using the black tape, the standard gray tape, even if it's a clear duct tape, still is not allowed, and it does not pass the certification from the FedEx Packaging Lab. Another tape that you can't use, masking tape. This is for painting. This is for housework. This is a paper-based tape, tears really easy, not very strong, and should not be used on your packages. I mean, I wouldn't use them on any packages, but it's certainly not allowed on live animal packages. Last tape, there's a little tiny, teeny tape, Scotch tape. I've actually received packages taped up with Scotch tape. That's embarrassing. Nobody should be using Scotch tape. It doesn't stick well. It's less than an inch wide. Please don't be lazy, and please don't be reckless and try and seal up your live animal packages with Scotch tape. Use a good shipping tape. Again, you can get it at Uline, you can get it at Amazon, you can get it at eBay, you can get it at Home Depot. Wherever you got to get it, use a nice shipping tape and seal your packages up well so they'll travel through the system well. Redline Shipping, hey, we support great folks doing great work. We appreciate your support in return. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. We have a whole family of companies. Redline Shipping, Redline Science for products, and also The Reptile Report. Reptile Report's been around for 10 years. We support great folks doing great work, whether it's keepers, breeders, or hobbyists. We support all those great folks doing great work. Thanks very much.
Guys doing with that, because I think that that's an interesting idea, because you guys do 10, 20 times the amount of these smaller breeders that they should fucking listen to you. So what was the impetus behind that, where you started thinking, we know a lot of shit that a lot of people obviously don't know, shouldn't we try and help these people for a fee, of course, but shouldn't we try and pull through? So what was the reasoning behind the consulting?
So I was doing business consulting before we started doing the snake stuff. So I actually was a part of a program at Virginia Commonwealth University where we would help give business advice and basically help scientists bring their products to market. So I was already in that realm and in that world. And the more Andre and I talked, we both realized that we were having these issues, and I shouldn't say issues, we're having these situations where customers or individuals were reaching out, asking us a lot of questions about business plans and business development and snake breeding and projects that they're working and long-term evaluations of projects. And we both kind of realized there's a big need here where people are asking a lot of questions, which is okay to ask the questions, but it's a huge time suck. And I was like, we should try and monetize this and see what we can do with it, because like I said, there's a lot of people that start businesses with the snakes that they're really good at the snakes or they're really good at the business aspect. They're not good at both. And so we were Andre being really, really good with the snakes and me, coming from the business side, I was like, we can really help a lot of people because we can come at it from multiple angles that normal people aren't necessarily going to be able to come at that from. So it was just kind of realizing our time is valuable. And we absolutely love to help people, but we can't literally just help everyone. So how do you help prioritize who you're going to help? And a lot of times the best way to do that is through financial incentive. If somebody really values your time and really wants to try and succeed and turn this into a business and be like that 10% of businesses that succeed, they're generally going to invest the money into making that happen. And so that's what we kind of found is when people are paying for the service, they're not asking all the ancillary questions they could Google themselves. They're generally asking a lot more pointed questions that really do need somebody that's experienced in this world.
Right. And in this new company, are you guys going in with predefined roles for what each of you do?
Yeah, we've talked about it already. It's kind of taken time to figure out how to balance, how we don't just do the same thing and split it all up. So we've
Right.
kind of discussed, I'm going to do probably more of the sales, reptile sales, and he's going to do more of the business consulting, talking to them and coordinating. And then we're going to come together and do that together, with the actual snakes we're looking at or what we're actually doing. He's going to run the Patreon a little more than me and try to do YouTube and that kind of stuff a little more.
Right. I was going to say, who's going to run the social media and what you allow to put out there. And the other question I would have is, I know everything's kind of gumdrops and rainbows right now, but what happens when you guys have a disagreement? Where's the third tiebreaker guy, to come in and be hey, we're 50-50 and we totally disagree on this thing. What are we going to do?
That's our wives had the same question. Andre and I do a pretty good job of, if we have a disagreement, we both generally walk away, and a day or two later we come back and we have a conversation. I'd say in general we do a good job of that. We haven't run into a topic yet where I'd say we both are fuck you, this is what the hill we die on.
Right.
Yeah, we've been friends for basically 6 years, and a couple of those years, we worked full-time job, and then after work, I would drive to his house and clean rats for hours. We've gone through struggles, and we've come out, on the other side. So we're fairly compatible,
Andre, have you ever punched Patrick in the mouth?
No,
he's wanted to.
Patrick, I know. I haven't even hugged him. I don't think he doesn't like being touched.
Andre's definitely wanted to punch me before. There's definitely been some phone calls where we're having a conversation and then it just goes silent, and I'm like, oh fuck. So,
No, I look. I know how he feels because the first time I met you in Arlington, I was like, "Who the fuck is this guy hunting fucking pigs?" I'm like, I don't have to punch this guy in the mouth, right? But
fair.
turns out that you ended up being pretty cool. So I know that
we've shared hotel rooms.
Yeah,
We shared hotel rooms intensely and survived those trips. Those are the harder ones. So
honestly, Andre and I's biggest fights are he's super crunchy and never wants to eat fast food, and all I want to eat is fast food. So when we travel together, it's a problem. Those are our biggest struggles.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. For now. Okay.
Yeah.
Listen,
obviously there will be complications. Yeah. And
I am offering my service. Okay.
Okay.
To come in and be the tiebreaker. Okay.
Accept.
Whichever one of you pays me more, it's gonna go your way.
All right.
So sell some fucking mandarins or do whatever you got to do. Put into a little account that says this is the tiebreaker account for Chris.
I think we're fortunate too. Like both of our wives are pretty vocal, and so when we've had situations where like Andre and I didn't necessarily see eye to eye, I think part of that, like us not talking for a day, generally was like our wives listening to us bitch about it, and then one of our wives being like, "Stop being an idiot." And then like we get on the phone like, "Hey, so I was thinking this is a great idea," and it's like, "All right, let's go ahead and do it." I think that helps.
Total 180 from the last phone call. Yeah, I get it.
But
we're good at getting over issues. Obviously when money is involved, those things change. But I think
and you're right, Chris. Like that is something like still we haven't, for better or worse, we haven't come up with a definitive way to basically be like, this is how this problem will be solved. Aside from like rock, paper, scissors. But like it's tough, and there are going to be issues. Even in just the beginnings of how we're going to do stuff. There's been some situations where we're like, I don't know about this, and they haven't been hills that I really wanted to die on, so it hasn't been that big of an issue. I think some of the issues Andre's had weren't hills for him to die on, so we'll see. I guess what happens when we have a really big issue. I'm not sure what that's going to look like, but we'll see how it goes.
Right.
Patrick did agree to clean all the rats by himself.
Well,
he did not.
Jesus fucking Christ!
Nobody wants that job.
Well, I mean, you guys have to have. I mean, you have to have a mutual respect for each other, right? Yeah. So I would imagine that the arguments are going to be, few and far between.
Over the past 6 years, they have been, and we've done a lot together. I really can't think of any where I was just like we really were upset with each other. So I think for the most part, we're pretty compatible.
Yeah, because over the last 2 years, if I called you at home, you were talking to me alone. If I called you when you were out with Andre, and fucking, you're always like, yeah, Andre's in the car, right? So, I would assume it's going to be, fairly decent for the first couple of years. But the next question is, obviously, you guys are the owners, right? You're not going to be cleaning snake shit all fucking day. You're going to be running the business now. So are you planning on having employees right away? Or did did your employee come with you, or do you have to hire new people, or what?
Yeah. So we have, there's a couple answers to that. First, my employees will stick around as long as they can. So I have an individual that cleans rats for us right now. And then we have individuals that clean like the tubs, like washing them themselves. I still spot clean myself, and I know Andre does too. We'll probably still spot clean by ourselves for a while, especially the breeders. You got to just be in there with the animals. You got to be able to see them. You got to hang out with them, get vibes for them. Like that's really how you get the best out of breeding with them. When you start handing it off to employees, unless those employees are really in tune with the animals, I think you start losing some production there. So we're still going to do a lot of that. The tub washing, absolutely. That's we'll have somebody helping with that. That's a huge asset. The rats, once again, absolutely going to have somebody helping. Yeah, you got to absolutely have to have that. As far as like the other stuff, like the sales, like Andre, like he said, he's going to take care of that. I was told he says like we divvied it up. I was told I wasn't allowed to do sales because apparently telling customers to deep throat a cactus is a problem. I don't know. But,
I'm like the less nice guy in real life, but he's not as nice to customers. So anyway. So we'll focus.
I'll focus more on the social media, and that'll be like my job, quote unquote, for now. And until we can hire some 20-year-old to run all of our social media and do all the cool stuff that makes all the money, right?
Right,
Yeah.
right. Well, that's
We're
where
gonna
it's
figure
at.
it out. Figure it out as
Yeah.
it goes. We got a basic split of duties, but we can adapt and
Right.
add
Yeah.
employee
Well,
if we
Andre
get too busy
definitely-
or that kind of stuff.
Andre definitely seems like the guy with the more tolerant personality. Like I can't see Andre really telling somebody to go fuck themselves when they ask for 2 more pictures of an animal. Like Patrick.
Literally.
Yeah, this guy did though. This guy definitely has told a
Yeah.
customer.
He complains to me about a picture, and I'm like, "Here, this is how you do it. You just send him a picture."
Yeah, that was literally like day 2 after we decided to merge. He's like, so just to let you know, like it'll be standard protocol. If somebody asks for a picture, you send it. And I was like,
Just send
the fuck I will. So that was kind of the moment where he's like, you're not allowed to do this anymore. I was like, God damn it. It's ironic. Like, I actually don't mind sending pictures. It's when I ask the person, like, what do you want a picture of? And they're like, I want a better picture of its head. And I'm like, it's literally just a picture of the snake's head. What more do you fucking want? That's where it's exhausting. And apparently I'm too vocal on that and should just take another picture of their head. I don't know.
Well, no, I'm more like Patrick, where they're like, I would like a macro shot of the 5th scale above the eye. I'd be like, you know what, dude, just go fuck yourself, right? But well, that leads to another thing. The amount of snakes that you have for sale right now as McKnight Stables and as Capital Reptiles, what's the combination going to be now? Because obviously now you guys are doubling up on everything, including the amount of animals that you need space for, including the amount of animals for sale, the holdbacks. There might be some issues even regarding what do you want to hold back this year. So how's that going to be split up? Is that all going to be written down so that you say, this is my decision on this clutch, this is your decision on that clutch? Like, how does that work? Because people who are partnering with other people want to know this.
Yeah.
Are you talking about the
different visions, but we also have the same vision? So I think it just takes time that we're going to talk about each clutch and discuss it. The good thing is we're both going to own the snakes, so we can both talk about each clutch that hatches and like kind of talk about this clutch we didn't hit that, so let's not hold anything back, or this one we have to hold that back. But currently I have more snakes than he has for sale because my season went a little later.
Okay.
So our plan is we're going to combine into one Morph Market store, but all our production from before 23 is going to be like if I sell a snake, it's going to go to me. Anything new we make after this, current season or the upcoming season is going to be the new businesses.
Well, and what's the amount of actual snakes going to increase by? Like, how many do you have, Patrick, right now? Like, roughly?
300-ish, probably.
Okay.
And I have a little less.
Andre, what about you?
I have a little less. So
Okay.
probably, I don't know.
So I think, I was going to say, I think realistically when we were talking, we're probably going to do between 120 and 150 clutches this year for 2020 as Chimera.
Right.
That's kind of the goal we're at right now. So, that'll be like probably 600 to 700 babies, give or take.
Right.
Yeah. But one of the fortunate things, another benefit of the merger, I think, was my seasons go very early. And Andre's ironically go a little bit later. And so it'll actually let us, we'll be producing animals almost year round now with this. So, we should have a constant stock of animals throughout the year, which I think is actually a big, benefit for like consistency of income. If you have animals to sell year round, it's easier to make money year round. So,
right.
Yeah.
Well, and how difficult is it going to be to combine stores on Morph Market? Are you going to have to basically start up a new account and list everything all over again, or?
No, John. Yeah.
In theory, he could just take my store and move everything to Patrick's, and then we just update everything there. So he just has a little bit more reviews, and that's why we're like, let's just move it to his because he has, I don't know, a couple, twice as many reviews as me. So we're just like, let's just put it in yours, and then we'll just update that to Chimera, basically.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it seems
In
like
theory.
in theory, everything is steaks and blowjobs till it all happens. But like it seems right now like it's going to be a fairly simple to merge the store based on what John has said. Merge Instagram, things like that. We're just going to basically be changing the name of one of our accounts. So like the merger actually should be pretty straightforward on the client side, where what they see really won't change that much. It's just going to be a logo change for the most part, fortunately.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
One benefit of the merger is Patrick's pretty competitive. So whenever I made a cool snake, if I showed it to him, he would get kind of mad.
No,
so
I wouldn't.
Be good to make a cool snake together, and you'd be happy with me. I didn't have anybody to be happy with.
I was happy with you. I was just a little bitter sometimes.
You're like,
It's very lonely when Andre's sitting. All right.
Oh my god. I had no idea I put such stress on him. Meanwhile, this guy's like, you should pair a normal to a normal, Patrick. Let's have some good pairing. He acts like I'm the only competitive one. But
you guys are fucking missing out on the Cobra food market, so you should do that.
I think it was a good thing, though. I can say it was a good thing for me. Like, the competition is good. Like, it caused me to, push more, and definitely I extended more than I probably would have, having like somebody close that was a friend I felt like was an actual competition,
Right,
and
right.
It was good. Like, I understand where Andre's coming from. Like, sometimes it was tough seeing him hatch a really cool snake and being like, fuck you. Like,
Right.
You over here, like, crushing the goddamn odds, and I'm getting shit with nothing but hemipenes. But it's fine. It's fine. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter.
I used to do that too, just like act nice in front of their face and just be like, fuck that guy. That motherfucker. I've been working 2 years on this shit. But that's the way it does, and competition does breed better results, right?
Yeah,
So in this, I mean, this is a weird time to be going into this and partnering up and betting, high stakes when a lot of people are saying this is going to be a recession. Not really a recession, but a correction. So out of all the ball python breeders in the country right now, what do you think is going to be the amount that drops off this year? And it's just a personal question. It's not, it's an opinion question.
About a breeder that stop breeding?
Yeah.
I wonder what happens every year. Is that a 10% drop or is it a 5%? Yeah. Because every year people drop out. So I wonder, that's obviously going to probably double the next couple of years because people are.
Yeah. So I don't think we're going to
exaggerate that.
Yeah, I don't think we're going to see a huge drop off this year. I think like 2024 and 2025 are going to be the really tough ones, right? Because so you think about like people they paid, the hyperinflated pricing in 2022 and 2021. They now have fairly significant amounts that they have to earn back. Their, the rate of return has got to be pretty significant. I think that the runways are going to run out this year, and we'll probably see some pretty significant drop-offs when people are like, oh, I spent $300,000 or $700,000. Why have I not made it all back in 1 year? And pricing keeps going down. Like, what am I going to do? And it's, a lot of these people were kind of born into the market when it was very, very easy to sell stuff. They don't remember pre-2019 when it took some hustle to sell some animals. Like, it wasn't just like pop a snake up and 3 minutes later it sold. Like, you had to put some effort into this shit. So I think all of the breeders that were breeding pre-2019, I think they have a bit of an advantage in that they've kind of, been through the fire and they know what's coming more or less.
The COVID market's not the normal, it's the outlier,
Yeah.
Now
I was going to say the majority of the drop off is going to be people that started in 2020. The drop off isn't going to come from the people that started in 2016 or 2015. Because they already know what it can be and how everything goes in cycles, right?
Yeah. I think if we like tried to forecast and we said, so anybody that entered the business in 2020, right as things started getting hot, if we forecasted and said, what does that population of breeders look like in 2025? I wouldn't be surprised if 90% of them were gone. Like, as a business, like in general, like 10 to 20%.
10% went to us for consulting.
That's true. That's true.
I see what you did there. Yep.
100%. Well done. He even got the finger wag and everything. That was good. Andre. Well done.
Yep.
That's why.
Well played, my friend. Very nice.
Had a button there.
But yeah, I really think like it's, and the 10% that are successful are the ones that they treated it like a business. They did everything they could, whether it was coming to us for consulting or finding an individual that could really help them set it up as a business. And they had enough runway to last, 3 to 4 years. Because a lot of people come in and they're like, oh, I have $500,000 to start a business. And they spend all $500,000 on snakes, not realizing that it costs money to feed your animals. It costs money to house them. It costs money to take care of them. And you may not see any income from those animals for 2 or 3 years. And then they end up blowing everything. And 2 or 3 years later, before they've really got to, realize any of their gains, they have run out of everything and they have to have that cash right then. And so they start selling stuff off. And it's just, it's defeating. So
a lot of patience.
But this is actually a great time for bigger breeders now, right? Because they could start buying collections fucking for dirt cheap.
Yeah.
So one of my favorite sports figures is Charles Barkley. He's just a delightful human. And he made a comment one time on a show I was watching, and he said, recessions are just garage sales for the rich. And I think that's basically what we're going to see. Like the people that have a war chest and have put aside money to survive through the lean times, they're going to do just fine. They're going to be able to buy animals at a cheaper price point. They're going to be able to survive this and see the other side. The people that, the companies that are bloated and were only successful because pricing was so high, those are the ones that are going to die off. And it sucks. Like, I don't want anybody to fail, but this is where, like, being able to run a company lean and really know your margins and know what you have to make to be successful and really know how to sell an animal, like, that's where you're going to start seeing a big difference in the market.
Right. Well, also the nice thing is with both of you being successful, by combining everything, a little bit is going to be taken off of each of your plates, right? Because now you don't have to do 100% of the work all the time. Somebody else is helping you with it. At the end of the day, I'm still curious about how your time is going to get split up, because if you want to be in there with the animals all day and you have 500 animals, both of you can't be in there with the animals all day. One is going to have to be doing other things.
So, like, cleaning the animals themselves between the two of us, like, that's a day's work. Like, that's not, you can absolutely spot clean and water 500 animals with 2 people in a day without any problems. You realistically could do that with 1 person. I think for all of, like, the physical labor jobs, we're going to be in there together, splitting that work. And like, I'll take the social media side, most of the social media side. He'll take most of the sales side. When you look at the time and effort between those two, it's actually a pretty fair split. Dealing with customers, especially when you're producing 600-700 plus animals, it's a lot of time. It's a lot of commitment.
A lot of messages.
And when you're, like, talking about the social media stuff, like, there's a lot to that, right? You got to post Instagram reels daily. You got to post pictures daily. We're going to be doing a weekly, video that we're going to put out every week. We're going to be doing a weekly, live video podcast kind of thing where we get together and we basically just talk about how the week went, right? Just kind of like a, off download talk, kind of thing. So there's a lot there too. So I think it's going to be a pretty fair split down the middle when it comes to the stuff outside of the physical manual labor side of it. But all of that, this is new for both of us. Like, I've never had a partner, like a true partner in a business. So there's going to be some learning here. We're going to have some give and take. And in 6 months, we've already talked about, like, there's going to be a reevaluation in 6 months of talking about, like, all right, I'm spending X amount of hours doing this. You're doing this. Like, how can we shimmy this up a little bit so that it's more fair, right? Because at the end of the day, like, we want this to be an even workload for both of us.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
We've tried to break it down, like pay schedule and all that stuff, and how much money we allot to, like, buy new animals and that kind of stuff now. So we don't have, like, arguments later of, like, oh, we're not buying that, or that's in our budget, no problem.
Right. Like
being discuss as much now as we can before there's
right. Like being in a partnership now kind of eliminates the ability to impulse buy, right? Just on your own.
That's what you think, Chris. But I got a credit card. I
Right.
can impulse buy, and Andre's cheap as fuck. No, you know what? Honestly, like it is actually a good thing. It is a good thing. You're right. Like
every business should budget. You know, we talked about 20% of our sales we reinvest in new animals, but you know, that number can be adapted. But I think, you know, no matter what, any business should try to follow some sort of budget. So you're not just you sell a snake and you rebuy a snake. That doesn't really add up, you know.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
It's me another snake in my rack.
Well, are you guys going to be show guys once this
no.
He's the outgoing one. I'm the one that kind of wants to do it more, but I'm the introvert and he's the extrovert and he doesn't want to do it. So
here's the deal. We are already at all of the major shows.
Yeah, we go to all the shows.
Yeah, we're at every Tinley, we're at every Daytona. If the NARBCs continue in St. Louis, we'll probably start going to those too. We're very available. We're very vocal. We talk to shit tons of people at all the shows. I have zero desire to sit behind a booth for all of the show. I would much rather wander around and talk to all my friends and hand out beer to friends than sit behind a booth.
We've been in Tinley together in 2018, and
we did.
Most of the time, we just wanted to walk around.
Yeah, what happened? You walked around while I got stuck behind the booth. Fuck you.
Somebody took a magnifying glass to your crested geckos.
Yeah. Andre didn't realize that people literally use a magnifying glass to check for pores on a crested gecko. He's like, why is that thing looking at a gecko's asshole so intently? I'm like, well, you know. I think
so no shows. Like you're perfectly content doing Morph Market, right?
Yeah.
We're very content. I do agree with Andre. Andre makes a great point in that shows are a fantastic opportunity to show off projects that are sometimes hard to really photograph, or like you don't get how nice they look unless you see them in person. I wholeheartedly agree. Like there might come a time, and I can fight this all I want. We may get to the point where we do start showing up to Tinley and showing off projects. I don't think it'll ever be an outlet for us specifically to sell as much as to bring animals to show off and show and talk about. You know, one of the big projects that we both love is Trojan. And we've made some really great animals with that. And it's hard to photograph some of that stuff when people see them in person. They're like, holy fuck, that does look great. But over the pictures, they're like, I just don't know. And so I agree. Like, there might come a time when we do. I've definitely fought it more and more. I don't want to, but, you know, that might be one of those hills that I don't die on. So we'll see.
Right. I got you. Okay.
But also just going to a show and delivering animals to people, like customers there, a lot of the time, you make good money, you know, compared to people vending. You know, you're not sitting around there all day, all
right.
100, you know, so 100%.
Just driving to a show and bringing stuff is a big help too. You know.
Yeah, I mean that's for Daytona. I don't remember if you dropped anything off, Andre, but I felt kind of bad where I had friends that they vended the whole weekend and they made a couple grand, and then I dropped off like $30,000 in snakes, and it's like you feel kind of bad because like Andre and I went and we just had a fucking blast. I mean, we hung out with Chase, JT, and Steve all weekend in Dale Porsche.
Right.
Like
you're
that was
forgetting about loading our trailer full of snake racks. That part.
No, we had a fucking blast. That was terrible. You know what? That's when I thought the partnership was going to end right there. We weren't even partners yet, and I thought it would end. Andre and I trying to load up snake racks in 100-degree weather when it's humid as fuck.
Yeah,
turns out we're not good people. Yeah, it turns out.
But fuck that.
We drove to Florida. My truck with a U-Haul trailer behind it, filled up the truck bed and that. And
I think that we spoke to you that night.
You probably did.
Was that
because
we did a Christmas live? We did another one.
That was a different
Christmas.
One.
We did a Christmas live once, right? That was on some trip somewhere. Stupid.
Yeah.
Well, Florida is probably more convenient for you guys, right? To drive out there than to drive
15
to 10
hours. What is Daytona? 12, 15 hours away?
Yeah, Daytona is a 12-hour drive. So we just hop straight on 95 and go straight down. So it's an easy drive for sure. Tinley, I think,
Tinley's about the same.
Yeah, it's about 14. It's a little bit longer. It's not a fun drive. There's more mountains to drive to Tinley, though.
Right.
More turns. 95, you can just zone down on and go 1,000 miles when you're there. It's kind of
That's true.
easier.
Yeah. 100%.
Well, and now this company is being announced February 1st, right?
Yeah.
On February 1st, which is today, basically. It's not really today, but it's in the future and in the past at the same time.
Is this Schrodinger's podcast? It's neither
This is
alive.
exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, it's Schrodinger's podcast. Everything going to be up and ready by February 1st?
That's the goal. Yeah, Morph Market store active. Under
it's not the goal. It will be. Yes, there.
Yeah,
it will be. Period.
Everything will be Chimera. No McKnight stables or Capital Reptiles.
Well, just saying from the past, you guys got 8 days, motherfucker. I mean, that's a lot to do in 8 days.
So fortunately, most of it's already done.
Website's
website's built already. Yeah, it's not out, but it's built.
Yeah. So the plan is basically we're going to time it with you. Once this is uploaded, we'll switch everything over at the same time. And so as this goes live, the website will go live. All of the social medias will go live. The Patreon will go live. Everything will go live. So,
okay. Yeah. So I noticed that the name doesn't reflect any sort of reptiles or consulting. What was that by design, or why wasn't that done?
I'm fairly private person. I like the idea of not having reptiles in it. So if you go own a building and the county sees, that building's owned by Chimera, they're not that's reptiles there, or, that's snakes there. Or if you get a piece of mail and it says this is for Capital Reptiles and my neighbor sees it, I'm
right.
But I like the obviously it sounds professional and it seems like a proper business, but I like the kind of vagueness of it too, But it also applies both of us coming together as one, Chimera is two things, and also, it's a snake genetic thing also, which is kind of cool,
Well, what's the website going to be?
ChimeraReptile.com. So Chimera itself was already taken and was going to cost way too much to purchase. Honestly, at the end of the day, talking to the young folk that actually understand Google search and how the internet is used these days, people don't even really type in web addresses as much anymore, interestingly enough. And so people are going to be Googling Chimera Reptile or just Chimera, and that's one of the first things that pops up. So fortunately, setting all of your search optimization should be just fine for finding our website.
Okay. So I would assume to contact you guys, it would be Chimera Reptile on everything.
Yeah.
So everything will be Chimera Reptile. The email address that you can reach out to us is going to be info at chimerareptile.com. And then we'll have, all of the social medias are going to be the same thing. Patreon Patreon's the only one that's not. It'll just be under Chimera. But we'll have links for everything. There's going to be link trees for everything. So.
Right. Okay. All right. Well, is there anything else that you would like to say to the people? Are you having a 20% off the first week sale? Like Macy's, like the Macy's opens, right?
Not quite. One of the things I think we did want to highlight, we talked a bit about the consulting stuff. And I've had a lot of people reach out and they have questions, but they don't have questions that really involve large scale projects. So most of our early projects that we did consulting wise, pricing was based off of collection size. And, that could be as low as $300. It could have been several $1,000s. And so we started getting a lot of people that were coming in and were asking questions that really didn't justify spending hundreds of dollars. And so that's kind of where this Patreon's coming from. It's less about just the snake business, and it's more geared towards the consulting side where people can come in and there's kind of a community where we can donate time to help with the consultation side and help, with other general things like helping to ID snakes and talk about breeding and things like that, where you don't have to pay, hundreds of dollars to get that. It's just a flat rate of $30 a month. You come in, you can be part of the community and talk. And then if you do have bigger, questions or projects that you want to talk about and spend more time, we can absolutely help you do that and kind of gear the pricing towards, those bigger questions where you don't have to spend $300 to ask us to look over a 10 animal breeding plan, right? That just doesn't make sense. So if for the people that are really interested in getting help and growing their business but don't have these big questions, like I very much so recommend coming to the Patreon. We're going to be very active in it. I guarantee I will be in there every single day answering questions at least once a day. We also are working out deals with vendors. I can't say who they are yet, but we're working out deals where people that join our Patreon will get exclusive coupon codes and discounts with other vendors that'll help cover the cost of your monthly membership. And then every dollar you spend on Patreon can be applied towards animals you buy from us. So if you're a Patreon member for 12 months and you've spent $360 with us, that $360 can absolutely be applied to any animal you purchase from us, no questions asked. So we're trying to add a lot of value with the Patreon along with, the services.
Right. It's kind of like an always evolving thing where you're basically paying your Patreon to kind of put it in as a savings account.
Kind of, yeah.
Animals to buy,
Yeah, man. It's that. It's also gonna, the stuff. So all of our egg cutting videos are going to be on Patreon. All of our breeding plans, like any, early looks at like projects that we're working on, that's all going to be on Patreon. So like, it's not just like, the snake savings account so you can plan to buy something. It also lets you get sneak peeks into projects and start planning like what you do want to buy. There's a lot of animals don't even ever make it to Morph Market, right? Like we post stuff right now on social media and it gets bought up really quick. You're going to have to be a member of Patreon to see some of that stuff now. And it's just kind of the way it goes. Yeah.
All right. What about you, Andre? Anything you want to say in closing?
Well, we talked about the consulting that side, but like on the bigger consulting side, what we'd like to do is take people's collections, a couple hundred animals. We have them Excel, analyze like every snake. Do you want to keep that? What's your goals for each of these projects? Make a breeding plan for them. Try to design something to optimize their collection, and that's something that I think we can do a lot for this community for.
And you guys have already done that.
Correct.
Yeah, Andre's really good.
To you first.
Yeah,
Andre's
really good at telling people what animals should go in the freezer. He is great at that.
Yeah, fucking all of them. All right.
No, I kid. He doesn't tell people to put them in the freezer, but Andre's much better on the long-term vision of snakes than I am, and that's part of what also makes this merger work well. Is like he has a good eye for this stuff, and he's done really well in the period of time he's been in it. So a lot of people just need that second look on their collections, and having somebody like Andre that can come in and be like, I think these animals are good. I think you probably should buy this kind of male or this kind of male to really help progress your projects towards the path you want to go. I think it helps a lot. And he's right. A lot of people need that help.
Yeah. Okay. Well, gentlemen, thank you for your time. I appreciate it. Thank you for all the trouble that you went through to actually do this. For everybody that doesn't know, this is not Chimera's office. This is the wife of one of Chimera's offices.
That's accurate. It is my wife's office. She is way better at all of this stuff than we are.
and they went all the way over there, fucking, after hours to just have good internet.
I've
so
crappy internet. So
yeah. It worked fantastic. I hope that company's job isn't internet. Okay.
It absolutely isn't.
But guys, you guys did great. Thank you so much, and I seriously wish you total success in the future. I'm definitely looking forward to the 5-year plan and see how Chimera's grown since today. So maybe what we'll do is we'll do like yearly updates.
Perfect. I love it.
On the growth of the business, right? So it could give some of these degenerates hope, right? Like that's what it's all about, right? Is the hope part.
Yeah. It is. I think also it can be motivational too. I know the first time that Andre and I went to Justin's, it was actually really good for us. Ironically, you watch the videos and it feels like it's Mecca for the snake world, and it's an incredible facility. But like we both walked away being like, this is achievable. Like this is great. This is what we want to do. Like this is achievable though. I think that's important too. part of the reason we're going to do the vlogs and like the daily, or the weekly breakdowns and talk about our weeks is like to let people know like the growing pains, the struggles we went through, but also to like show people like this is attainable. You can do it. It takes a lot of effort. It takes planning. It's a lot of work, but it's very doable. So,
Right.
man, I'm super excited. Look forward to it.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited. Everybody, head on over to Chimera Reptile right now.com. Like right now. Like it's up and running. I hope you guys don't make me look stupid saying that. That's all I'm saying, right?
Oh, it'll be up and running. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Guys, good luck with everything, and thanks for taking the time to do this, man.
Awesome.
Appreciate you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
All right, guys, take it easy. Geeky Geckos is Arizona's largest gecko breeder, and they're helping usher the Fatman into the leopard gecko space. They have a really popular YouTube channel for education, care, and breeding, and all that other fun shit. And they have an active community on Instagram, Facebook, and Discord over at Geeky Gecko Creations. Oh, since they're in Arizona and it's fucking 98 degrees there in the winter, they could ship year round. Plus, if you buy from them, they basically have free consultations about your collection for life. That's forever. Forever and ever. Call or text Frank today at 480-299-7657 with any questions or inquiries that you have. That's a fucking man that stands by his shit, that he's willing to give out his fucking cell number to all of you degenerates. There's another Snakes and the Fat Man special with Geeky Gecko Creations. It's hard to fucking say. There's a special 10% discount on all applicable animals using code SATFM10 at checkout. Go check out Frank and his awesome fucking animals at geekygeckocreations.com. I just want to thank Patrick and Andre again for taking the time, and I wish them nothing but luck on their new venture. And hopefully they're going to prove that when done right, this ball python thing could work. Guys, do you like what you see here? I mean, come on, okay? If you do, you could join our Patreon at patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. You have to go to your browser and actually type that in. It's patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. And the reason it's like that is because when I set up the account, I made the fucking mistake of saying that it was an adult show. And Patreon's algorithms don't let you search adult content. So you have to physically just type in your browser, patreon.com/snakesandthefatman. Join up and be like all these fucking cool people right here. Really. Instant membership to the Reptile Cool Guy Club, and that's a fact. See what I did there again? Every dollar that we make on Patreon isn't going to pay my bills or take care of my dumb animals. I have a job for that. It'll go back into this show to improve the show and hopefully keep you guys laughing. Don't forget to enter the Stop Looking and Sounding Like Shit giveaway, where you could win a full podcast setup. Again, when you see the ad, tag me in it, share it, take a screenshot of it, send that screenshot to fatmancontest@gmail.com, and you will be entered into the fucking contest. That's how easy we make things here. The Zoom call is only once a month now, so keep an eye out on IG or Facebook when I announce that. It'll probably normally be at the end of the month. We had a great first Zoom call of the new year, actually, just last night, and we had a ton of new people in there just having fun and laughing and not talking about snakes. Also, don't forget to watch Fatman Live this Sunday, where my guest will be the absolutely gorgeous and insanely intelligent Lori Gray from Gray Family Snakes. Again, that's a show where no uglies are allowed. Do me a favor, if you're not subscribed already to me on YouTube, subscribe. I mean, really, like, how hard is it to click a fucking button? Follow me on IG, and you could even friend me on Facebook. That's right. I'll be your fucking friend. Thank you so much for hanging out, and I hope you enjoyed the show. I will see you back here in 2 weeks, where we'll have my old friend Garrick fucking DeMeyer. See you in 2 weeks, people. Everyone talks their own shit about what kind of racks you should buy. Metal racks are great, but everyone doesn't want a goddamn 7-foot high, 6-foot wide, 2,000-pound metal rack in their fucking house. That's a 2-refrigerator footprint, man. 2 fucking refrigerators. Serpents makes insane quality racks that could fit anywhere. They're stackable PVC racks that are living room friendly, and they're shipped fully assembled with heat tape already installed. Just plug it into a thermostat and you're ready to go. When we had the shop, we had over 20 Sea Serpent racks there before they ever became a sponsor of Snakes and the Fatman. I don't breed much anymore these days, but I still have a few racks here in my house, and you can be goddamn sure that they're Sea Serpents. Oh, and they also make hotbox incubators, probably the best reptile incubators made in America. At the height of our breeding business, we had 4 4-foot hotbox incubators, and again, I still have a small hotbox incubator here in case anything I keep actually does breed. Go to SeaSerpents.com and check out their incredible selection of PVC racks and tell Chris Nettles that the Fatman sent you.